All right, we have pre-stream time. Anyone out there wondering? Feel free to leave some comments in here. I'm doing a pre-stream and getting all the dials and pegs all twisted and working well. Everyone loves dials and pegs. They're my favorite. Okay, and let's see, microphone adjusted, and it is time for, well, pretty close. Yeah, why not? A little bit of music to carry us up to showtime. Gotta dust off the microphone. It's getting dusty. Oh, yeah.
Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In search for glory, on with them sacred rules of old. They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Preacher man discovered, passed down from saint to sage, like a kind-hearted lover who's been lost on this stage. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Junkie and the jigger, just seen who done the crime. Captain pulled the trigger, guess who's doing time? They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads. Is he yours or is he mine?
Definitely mine. What belongs at the end of that song. I know they don't have it, but that's what belongs there. Okay, it looks like we've got it all ready. We have I have a really great show for you here today. Be full of all kinds of interesting factoids for you and little bits and pieces of the carnage. Let's see what we got. Looks like it is time to go live. Actually, I need one final blasted tweet out here. Typo. I'm really good at typos. All right. Okay. Bat signals away. It is time to go hit the tracks and get this show, bring it up alive. Boost and retweet wherever you have it. Okay, off we go. It's episode 448, and I am weathering the storm while working through the 2020 hack meltdown with a couple of plugins and some ClassicPress options, all coming up on WordPress Plugins from A to Z.
WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 80,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gems? Join us for a weekly, unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress Plugins from A to Z.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the brewery. Oh, look, there. Let's wrap that one more time. Coming to you direct from the Brewery Overlook in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. I'm John Overall. And according to the Mueller Report, you are listening to WP Plugins A to Z, the best ClassicPress WordPress podcast in the universe. And a big thank you out to the No Agenda Show for their contributions of ideas and the occasional sound clip.
Squirrel!
This is a value for value show, and I look forward to everyone providing some value back. Start by getting out there, hitting everyone in the mouth and telling us about the show, spread the word, and go subscribe to our newsletter where you get a weekly bunch of information sent directly to your email inbox. So go sign it up or join me every Thursday live on our YouTube channel at wppluginsa2z.com/live. Okay, well, let's talk a bit about this. Has been a week like I have not had in God knows how long. It's episode 447, and I'm a little punchy and still a little tired. I am also still looking for more participation from you, the producers of this show, as the sword of Damocles is still hanging over the show. Keep the feedback coming. This is episode 8 of 52 episodes for 2020. Also, one more quick note, I am looking for a guest host. Anyone who would like to make a guest appearance on this show with me and appear with their own couple of plugins to review, talk smack back and forth, war stories, pretty much anything. If you want to join me, reach out to me at john@wppro.ca. I want to start doing that in March when I can bring some people on occasionally. It doesn't have to be every show, just once in a while. If you happen to have time on a Wednesday at noon for about half an hour to 45 minutes, be happy to get you to join me. Okay, like I said, it's been a while. I'm a bit tired still. I'd forgotten what it's like to pull an all-nighter. It's been several years since I've had to pull any all-nighters. And the last time I did that, I think I was much younger than I am now. And it had a lot to do with the hack that I had tweeted out about somewhere around Tuesday. And shortly thereafter, one of my clients who has multiple sites had to deal with a full-blown meltdown of his sites. He had several sites that were running the plugin in question, and at the time I wasn't managing. I was just working to transfer his sites from one server to another, and that's when it struck us. So far, I've had to deal with over 12 websites. I was up all night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday, getting very little sleep. I finally got to sleep last night after we'd stabilized all the critical sites, and now we're working through the non-critical sites little by little to get them all tied up and working. This has been quite the chore. I'll be talking more about the hack and the news from that hack a little bit further on here. And I do absolutely feel that there is a special place in hell for the spammers and hackers, somewhere below the 12th layer of hell, where their toenails are being carved out and force-fed back into them to regrow so they can be torn out again. It's like the havoc that they create boggles my mind. I mean, the skill set involved that they use to do these hacks. Imagine if they actually applied that skill set to do something good on the internet versus the havoc and evil that they create. We could probably have an amazing internet if that would happen. Although human nature being what it is, that's what we get. You got the good guys and the bad guys. It always seems like an arm race between the two, between the good and the bad. The better the good guys get, the better the bad guys get, and it's constantly one-upping each other. So with all of that, let's jump into talking about the news and information bits that we have here. First off, we've got this hack I discovered early on in my client site. It sends out a script called, it embeds a script into the website, into posts and pages, so it gets this embedded in your database. It also sticks it in places such as JavaScripts with some encrypted code. It sticks it in PHP pages at the top of the pages. It's a pretty insidious script all the way through. I discovered it off of Reddit within hours of it occurring, and that led me down the path of more stuff. I ended up having to do some creation of an SQL query to remove it from the database. This one here, really bad. How did it begin? It began with a plugin, as often is the case. Now, the author has already plugged the hole in this plugin, and this plugin comes from ThemeGrid, I believe. ThemeGrill. And it was the ThemeGrill demo importer, which is on over 200,000 websites. And that plugin allowed the hacker to inject a payload into the site, which wiped the database of a site and then injected code everywhere. Now, he had a couple of sites that got wiped completely, restored from a database, and then we discovered this other hack in this other code, which leads off to the Tom Very Beautiful thing. And what it was doing is, as soon as your site would load, it would redirect off to the spammer's advertising website or payload download site, whatever it was. I never let them load. I'm not that interested. My interest is more in blocking it. And there's some really great articles in here. The biggest thing is if you haven't upgraded the ThemeGrill demo importer and you're using it, you better get on it, because if you haven't been hacked yet, your turn is coming, because they've got the bots hunting the web, looking for the sites that they can exploit. And once exploited, it takes forever and a day to get it cleaned up. Well, not forever and a day. It takes a day. And then, all right, few hours. I'm exaggerating. I'm tired. What can I say? It is critical that you deal with this. And another article here, this one here was from WebArcs Security, who is the one that told the author about the hack and let everyone know. So it's something you'll want to deal with. If you haven't dealt with it yet, you'll want to be getting on it as soon as you possibly can. Now, lesson 1 from this is, once you're done with a plugin, deactivate it and remove it. Because all this plugin did for people was it allowed them to import the demo content for the theme. So those that, once they were done importing the demo content, if they turned the plugin off and removed it, they would not have been vulnerable. So that's a good lesson for you to think. Now, there's another little article here from JavaScript about this same plugin here and whether it can get through, or the same hack, and whether it gets through the entire website, through all of your database. And I can tell you from my experience, yes, so far, 3 of the 6 sites I've got 4, 5, 6, somewhere around 4, 5, 6 sites I've gotten back online. 3 of them have had this spread throughout the entire database. As I said, I had to write actually I didn't write, because I have a tough time writing SQL queries. So I got a buddy of mine, Sean DeWolf. He wrote it for me. So thank you, Sean. Much appreciated for it. You want some really good coding? Go talk to Sean. Sean DeWolf Consulting. So anyway, he wrote that for me and worked like a charm, pulled it completely from the database. Excellent thing to do. So make sure you get on it, deal with this if you've got this problem. Let's go on to a little bit of other tender news here for folks. Coming up, and this one here first came to my attention from BlogAid, and Mayanna gets out some really great information. You might consider subscribing to her newsletter. She puts out a lot of information as it's occurring. I used to do it. I should have been doing all the information as it was occurring yesterday, but I was too busy. I don't know. I guess I won't go into it. Anyway, thank you, Mayanna, for this information. Your domain names are about to get more expensive. The ICANN has approved a rise in the fees for top-level domains, .com, .org, .edu, .net, .gov, .mil. Not that you can get .gov or mil yourself, but they're going to be raising them by about 7% per year for the next 3 years. Then they take a 2-year break. Then they get to raise them again for 7% per year for several years after that. So they're going to raise the domains that maximum 7% every year. You can bet on it. Because they can do it, they will. The reason domains have been pretty cheap is because there have been a cap on prices for a long time. So this is a really bit of an interesting one. A couple of articles, aside from the one at Mayanna's here. Check out an article from Namecheap as they talk about this too. And they're fighting to help keep the price of domains down and affordable. So go check out the articles in the show notes, those that are catching the show at a later pace and time. And back to the news of the hacker world. I caught an article today. This was posted actually yesterday. There is another active attack on a vulnerable plugin out there. It is the Duplicator plugin, and it's affects over 1 million sites that have it installed and active. This again is another plugin that once you're done with it, turn it off and deactivate it and delete it from your site. You only need it to duplicate your site. After that, you're done. Get rid of it. Too many people leave these plugins turned on indefinitely. Granted, they're not drawing any resources, but this is what can happen. If it gets vulnerable, you're massively vulnerable. You might not know it even occurs. But this one here is one you'll want to read about. Check your sites. See if you've got the Duplicator plugin on your website. Maybe your developer used it. Maybe the guy who helped move your website used it and left it there. Double check. That's what you need to do. And that's another one which is going to create some havoc in the world today. Okay, well, with all of that bright, cheery news from the last few days, let's move on to something of amusement to me. I always find amusement with the things that plugin developers do, or people who purchase a very popular plugin and then decide to monetize it in a way, redevelop it, and turf out entirely all of the old versions of the plugin. And in particular, I'm talking about the Google Analytics dashboard for WP by Exact Metrics. This one, I've never used it, but it came to my attention because BlogAid did an article on it where she had to retract and give an apology because she didn't give the full information of what she was. She was going on information about it being about poor installation on it. Well, when reading through some of the comments here, it looks like she wasn't too far off the mark. People were having problems. But that's not what has gained notoriety and attention. And what they've done from it, done with the redevelopment of it, is they've moved it to a massively high annual charge for the plugin. Now, granted, I can get behind the fact that a plugin cannot be free forever. And that plugin not being free forever is just a given with development. The developer has to eat, pay his rent, put clothes on his back, et cetera, et cetera. It's respectable, but they took this plugin that had close to 1 million users and jacked the price up to, I think I caught in this $99, and it's just ridiculous. So this is people are abandoning it. They went from being a 5-star plugin to a 2.5-star plugin in like a week and a half, with over 600 1-star ratings now. When I actually drew this article up a couple of days ago, there was only 500. So they've had 100 plus 1-star ratings in the last day and a half. So it turns out a lot of people aren't happy about what they've done here. So this is a good example of how you can piss off your user base with little to no effort whatsoever. And, this plugin here was really good. The thing that I enjoy about WordPress plugins hosted at the WordPress repository is you can go and get the back versions of the plugin. Well, these guys here have removed all the back versions of the plugin, so you can't get them. So this is something you can do. If you really like the plugin, stick with 5-point-something version of the plugin and avoid version 0.6 going forward, because 6 going forward is where you need to pay for it. 5 back is going to be fine. It's not going to be updated. So if someone's of an entrepreneurial mindset, take that plugin at 5 point whatever it is. If you've got it, make a copy of it and fork it, and then bring it back as something different for people. Update it a little bit and maybe pull down some of the better features and make them premium and charge a reasonable fee for the premium features. I find that plugins I work with that are freemium, having a free set in it, and then the premium features which are more useful, a reasonable fee makes it more likely that I am to buy the premium versions of it. So keep that in mind. That's the experience I've had over the years I've been doing this. Okay, well, that's all of the news I've got for today and bits and pieces. So let's talk a little bit about this show here will not work without the producers. That is you, everyone out there that listens to the show, that downloads this show. I know that lots of people download this show. Not everyone shows up for the live stream. I do appreciate those that come for the live stream, and thank you very much for that, such as Hemdian, who actually made a comment here in the live stream. Is the domain name price increase just for new domains, or does it include renewals of existing domains? It's going to include all renewals. So your renewal is going up, not just new domains. The total price is going up. You might want to check out the articles later. All the domains are going up. So at any rate, back to it. The show doesn't work without you, the producers. You, the producers out there, help provide me with content, information. I've got people providing me with artwork, mostly just Angel at the moment, but I have had a couple others come in. All the bits and pieces are what I'm trying to get this show to be more useful to those of you who listen to it. And I know many of you download the show versus show up for the live stream. So I want to make it even more useful in that aspect there. I'd like to acknowledge the producers who have supported the show I'd like to acknowledge all the producers who have supported the show in various ways. And this week, the show art comes from Angel Lamu from Koa Digital. So a big thank you out to Angel, and go check out his website. He does some really great graphic artwork for magazines and photography. So go check his stuff out. And don't have any executive producers this week, but I would like to give a big thank you to all the producers who came in with under $50 donations and those who have set up weekly subscriptions. They remain anonymous, and I thank you very much. All the small subscriptions do help the show out. Right now, they're nothing more than a small trickle and basically amount to pocket change and as far as the expenses for the show go. But anything that you can do, I gratefully take it. A big thank you to those of you who have hired me because of the podcast. That is as good as donating to the show. So thank you very much. If you hire me to do some work, or you decide to become a hosting client and you let me know it was because of the show, I will gratefully acknowledge you on the show if you would like. Okay, and what can you do to support the show? Well, you can start by donating money. Always need.
We just need cash.
I know a lot of people want to send blankets or water. Just send your cash.
Absolutely. Just send your cash. You can submit artwork via the WP Plugins art generator. It's at WP Plugins. The link's in the show notes. You can submit articles, news, and information to me via the website contact page. You can submit plugin suggestions via the plugin submission contact page. You can also create a monthly donation over at Patreon, or anything I may not have thought about. You can just email me direct, john@wppro.ca. Okay, well, all of that is out of the way. Let's dive right into the meat and potatoes I got today. All right, well, today we're a little light on meat and potatoes, but that is mostly due to I haven't had any time this week to get fully prepared. Today was the first chance I got to do really anything on the show. I've been working nonstop, except for sleep breaks, on fixing these hacked websites and getting them moved to a new server, etc. Just it was like the endless combination of a hurricane. And there was one point where I kind of felt like it was a hurricane. I was battling. Then all of a sudden everything got calm. It was very peaceful. It was like being in the eye of the storm. I rested for an hour or two and woke up, and it was right back at it. It was like the other end of the hurricane smacked me for another 6 to 8 hours, and then all of a sudden it started calming out. And it's like, okay, the storm is past. Now we're in cleanup mode. So what have I got? I've got for you this week a little bit of ClassicPress options. Not a lot in ClassicPress news this week. There is a little bit, and a thank you goes out to Code Potent for contacting me via Twitter and sending me some feedback. He was mentioning that the list of ClassicPress plugins that he maintains over at the ClassicPress forums, he listed out the new plugins that are there for me so I can work through these and do some reviews and bring these into the show. So the first one, just to let you know what's there, is the Add Open Graph Tags plugin, the ZP Disable Users plugin, the ZP Multiple Roles new plugin, the PHP Error Log Viewer plugin, and the Twitter plugin, and then a Stats Update Manager extension for the Update Manager plugin that exists. So there's a number of them there for me to work with. So I should be bringing those to you in upcoming shows, so you hear more about the plugins for ClassicPress. He had a little bit of other news. The Update Manager plugin, as he said, has been a smash hit for the community, and it will provide a huge chunk of code for the official ClassicPress plugin directory. So there's an official ClassicPress plugin directory in the works. So that's good to hear. I'm excited to see how that one pans out. Okay, and as usual, a note for my ClassicPress listeners, send me info to help keep ClassicPress section more full. I need more ClassicPress information. Right now, I'm really stuck in the WordPress world and environment. I would love to move fully to ClassicPress, but I can't, unfortunately, because I got too much over in WordPress at the moment to make the move. I will eventually, probably, but at the moment, I'm going to just stay where I'm at, kind of straddling both worlds. I feel like I'm in dimension A and B at the same time. All right, so, and the usual ClassicPress resources. Go check out the ClassicPress Club, the ClassicPress forums for more information as they go. Links are in the show notes for all of that stuff. And what do I got for WordPress plugins for you? I do have a couple here. First one I've got for you is called Minimal Coming Soon and Maintenance Mode Coming Soon page. Now, this one here, I've seen it many times when I pop into WordPress. I need a maintenance mode plugin. I have my default one that I use all the time. It's just called Maintenance Mode WP. Really great plugin. It sets up really quick and easy. But I had to do some work on a site real quick, and I needed to get a maintenance page up real fast because we were going to move this site off of a server that was running a very old version of WordPress. Basically, we're getting this thing moved, and we wanted to let the world know that the site hadn't vanished while the move is taking place. All of that occurring. Well, I went to install my usual plugin. It wouldn't install because their PHP version on the server was pretty old. Yeah, it was bad. It was beyond 5.6. It was somewhere down around 5.2. So yeah, that's bad. But the point being is I needed something to work so I didn't have to manually build out a page. I wanted something to be done in less than 5 minutes instead of all the other hassle around an HTML page. So I found this one. This one looked like it would work. I installed it. It activated. It worked. It set up. Beautiful. piece of cake. Very nice plugin. If you're still looking for a maintenance mode plugin, you haven't settled on one, you might check this one out. I may use this one a little more often. I kind of like the setup a little better than my default one. So go check it out. It's called Minimal Coming Soon and Maintenance Page, or Maintenance Mode Coming Soon Page. It's a big mouthful of a name, but go check it out, and I give it a 5 dragon rating. Hey, what have I got next for you? Next up, I have for you the User Name Changer plugin. I may or may not have reviewed this one in the past. I don't recall. But of course, every once in a while, when you're working on a site or you take over a site from a client, you may be required to change some usernames for accounts. Now, I know, yes, you can go delete the account and recreate an account, but here's the flaw in that, and I've encountered it more often than not. More than once, I should say. I've encountered this problem more than once, and the problem is that when they go to delete the account, they often skip that step that pops up and says, where would you like to put or associate all of the posts for this user? If you don't properly associate those posts, you could lose them. I have seen it happen where data gets lost because they don't reassociate those posts with a new user. And this is kind of an important step. So what you can do is simply install this plugin, log in, change the username for the account, then change the email for the account, change the password for the account, and boom, anyone who had access to that account is gone. They cannot access it. They couldn't even try to retrieve it because the email's gone, the username's gone, and it's got a new password, just to be sure. Very simple plugin. You install it, activate it, go in, edit the user. Right next to the username where it's grayed out and says cannot change username is another little button that says change username. So you click that button, type in your new username, hit save username, boom, it's done. Now, yes, if you're SQL experienced, you can go into the database via the PHP MyAdmin and edit a username that way, but it takes a little bit longer than this plugin does. So go check this plugin out. It's called User Name Changer. And again, because it's so beautiful and works so well and is free, I give it a 5 dragon rating. And that's all the plugins I've got for you this week. And that's just the way it works out. I will bring more next week, and I'm going to try and liven the show up with a few other things as we come along. But at the moment, just to let you know, this show is currently sponsored by...
Save time and money managing multiple WordPress websites. If you have several WordPress websites to manage, either for your clients or yourself, then you know how much time it can take managing them all. Time that is spent on mundane administrative tasks and then losing that time for your important business tasks. CMS Commander is an online service that solves this problem and makes managing multiple WordPress websites fast and easy, as simple as controlling a single site. By placing all your websites in one powerful dashboard, CMS Commander makes it possible to update, backup, and manage them all at the same time in one place. Features of CMS and Commander include one-click updates of plugins, themes, and WordPress core for all sites, automatic scheduled website backups, website cloning and restoration, uptime monitoring and analytics integration, bulk posting and automatic content. Sign up now for your 14-day trial at cmscommander.com and access all the features that will allow you to manage more websites and save time.
Absolutely. CMS Commander is a great plugin, and if you do use it, please use the link in the show notes. That is an affiliate link. They're not actually paying me. I'm collecting affiliate fees for the ad. If you would like to have your ad here, contact me, reach out to me. I'll be happy to put it in here. But you can go to WP A-Z.com/CMS command to go directly to it using my affiliate link. Okay, and I have no listener feedback, but I would really love some, folks. Please send some listener feedback my way. You can do it via SpeakPipe off the website. You can send me an email, hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, any place like that. Tell me if I'm doing good, bad, if you like the way the show's going these days, if you hate it immensely. I don't really care. It's just to let me know that people are actually listening. I'm looking forward to hearing from people out there. And the contest, while I was going to do the contest, and my week started out so good this week. I spun a new server up. I was in the middle of configuring a new server because my client base is growing and I have to do some work. And then all hell broke loose. I actually kind of thought about it for a bit. Instead, last time I spun up a new server, I had the same sort of hell break loose. Maybe that's a cue there. So I should spin up more servers to bring more work my way. At any rate, we have no contest this week, and I absolutely will get one up next week one way or another. It will happen, and you will hear about it on Twitter and Facebook. That will be the first place it is announced, so stay tuned for that information. All those developers out there who would like to support the show and you want some free advertising and support the show, hey, send me a link or send me a key for one of your premium plugins that I can use as a giveaway on the contest, and I will talk about you for a couple of shows at least, sometimes 3 and 4 shows. You get lots of free promotions and you pass out a key. Truthfully, it doesn't cost you anything but one more key and maybe the support if it gets in the hands of a person that needs support. Okay, and that's all I've got. So closing out this episode, I covered up the following 2 plugins, the user name changer, which I gave a 5 to, and the coming soon page, which I gave a 5 to. Couple of quick reminders. Next week is the seminar here in Victoria on February 25th for assessing your website host and choosing your website host and what you would like it to be. So please make sure you brain cloud. We just had something dropped across the room from me. This will be preparing and comparing web hosts, what you need to be looking for, all of the stuff that is happening in and around preparing and choosing the right web host and what you're going to be getting. It will be streamed live here on the YouTube channel. So check in next week. It's at 6:30 in the evening Pacific time on February 25th. Okay. And that's pretty much it. One last note. If you'd like to find out more about me, you can check me out at theroguestavern.com. Follow my journey. Check out my adventures into the wild, searching for gold, hiking, camping, getting out on the gun range, and more. That's pretty much all I've got. So I'm going to let my girl take us on out of here.
Reminders for the show. All show notes can be found at WPPlugins A-Z.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A-Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to WPPluginsAZ.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page using WPPluginsAZ.com/Facebook. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Follow the show on Twitter at WPPluginsA to Z. John can also be reached at his website, johnoverall.com, or email him directly, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.
Alrighty, and as usual, I'll stick around for about a minute or so if people have questions they want to dump into the Chat boxes, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to chat for a minute or two and see what's up. If not, we'll close the show out. And because I'm on a 30-second delay, I will wait. Very quietly. No, not likely. Something about quiet, man. It's really hard unless you're totally by yourself. While I am mostly by myself here, it's like, it's really hard to not say anything or keep rattling and talking just for fun. Alrighty. Let's see what we got. All right, it looks like we don't have anything. I think I will call it a wrap, and I'll leave the chat window running for an extra couple of minutes after. And we'll just call it the end of the show. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And thanks a lot to you, Hemdian. Really appreciate you showing up here for the stream on a regular basis and jumping in with some feedback from time to time. All right, take care now, everyone. Bye-bye.